Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday, the 17th of October, Own Your Own Life event. We are based in UK, but also we have guests joining us from US, like Didi, we have from Chicago, and some of us are from Australia, Faroe Islands, and so on and so forth. So we're quite a global community. First of all, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and thank you for taking out some time to jump online and hear our stories and see what we are up to. My name is Greta. I'm going to be your host tonight, and I just want to give you a couple of housekeeping rules. I've learned that from Jacqui last week. At the bottom of your screen, if you're on the phone or on a laptop, you should have a couple of options where you can click on a chat. This is where we tend to just support one another when somebody's talking, or if you have any questions, you can drop them in there, and one of us will be there to answer that straight away. Also, if you find yourself, you accidentally unmuted and we hear wonderful loud noises, can you please mute yourself? The mute button is also in the same area. So I'm going to spotlight myself so you can now see just me. Hello. So as I said, my name is Greta, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of brief history of how I was introduced to what we call the magic beans. They are magic because my story is about a year and a half ago, I met Bela, and at that time in my life, I was in a completely different place to where I am right now. I was very anxious, very stressed, very depressed. A year before that, I suffered an incident where it left my body kind of like in a healing state, and it just never really I just never really wasn't getting over that. So when Bela met me, she said, you know, I was obviously, as a friend, I was complaining and I was telling her all the issues that I was having. And then she said, you know, I really think the magic beans could help you. This is what it has done for me. And all I could hear at that time, I just wanted her glowing skin and thick eyelashes. I was like, yep, I'm sold. But I was also really interested and intrigued about the fact that it was a whole food and not a vitamin. And I had a very close friend at work who used to always tell me that vitamins, you know, you should just have a look down the toilet and then you'll understand whether it's absorbing into your body or not. So was I expecting anything? No, I was just expecting more of a glowing skin and thick eyelashes, but I wasn't really sure because it's something that I've never really heard of before. And a lot of the things that I was suffering from, you know, as I mentioned, anxiety, depression, etc. But I also had insane tension headaches, which caused me lack of sleep. I also was very bloated and swollen. I have always suffered irregular bowel movements. So my best friend was the toilet. And yes, best ideas come when you are on the toilet, for sure. Since I was little, my mom used to try and feed me prunes. Disgusting. Please don't do that to your children, because obviously I was always constipated and I would sit on the toilet for hours and hours and hours, and it was just really terrible. But as the time went on, I just kind of got used to it, and I said, you know what, I forgot about it. I forgot that actually that is an issue. I just thought that it was something part of my life, you know. My name is Greta and I'm constipated, kind of became part of my bio. But then when I went on the magic beans, without even thinking that it could possibly help me with bowel movements, within 2 weeks, I kid you not, I was shitting for the nation. I was not diarrhea, but I was having real good poops. I was going to the toilet 3 times a day. I would wake up with a flat tummy and go to bed with a flat tummy. Not that it means anything, but for me, I was always bloated. So it wasn't just because I wasn't digesting food, but I just felt like I was always, you know, like my body was retaining everything and I was just bloated and I felt sluggish. And with all of that comes other symptoms as well. So I was super happy, and I remember going on Facebook and I just, posted loads of toilets, and that's why everybody knows I'm like the poop emoji person, because I just love poo and I just love pooping. So yeah, so I was really, really happy about that. And yeah, and then I started thinking, Bella did tell me, like take a diary of the things that you are currently experiencing. But I think when you're suffering with things, you just forget about it. And that's exactly what happened. When I saw that difference, I was like, oh, like, this could be doing something for me. Amazing. And I'm a year and a half in, and I can tell you, I hope you can see my glowing skin. I really do see an improvement in my hair, my lashes, my nails, but most importantly, my body has managed to heal itself, because I also suffer from boils on my legs, and they used to always spread. And that's why I would never wear skirts or dresses, because I was just very insecure about how my legs looked. And what I've noticed since going on the magic beans, that it not only stopped the boils from spreading, but it's also helping them heal as well. So I'm very, very happy about that. And obviously loads of other things that I'm very happy about. So without me going into too much detail, I guess you're wondering, what is this magic bean? So I'm going to pass you over to our lovely Jacqui, who is going to tell you a little bit about how the magic beans came into her life, and also what are they?
Thanks, Greta. Hi, everyone. So I've been on the product for just over 4 months. So I'm still a bit of a newbie, but I absolutely love them. I started with basically juicing. I love juicing, but I've soon found that it was going to be quite expensive and no space in my fridge, and also just making sure that I had fresh product all the time. So that became quite an issue, because obviously trying to do for 3 of us every day, every morning, make sure everybody had their go for the day. I soon realized it wasn't going to be something I could sustain. So I noticed a friend posting on Facebook, and I got hold of her, and she was actually in Australia. And she's a sports person, so I kind of thought, well, I'm sure she's done a lot of research. I do quite a lot of research myself, so she told me what the product was. I went away, had a good look, and thought, yeah, you know what, this is exactly what I've been looking for, because it's juice in a capsule. So that's what leads me on to what it is. Basically, it's these amazing containers full of capsules, vegetables, and 9 vegetables go into these capsules of Juice Plus. They're broccoli, kale, cabbage, carrots, tomato, garlic, spinach, and yeah, perfect to be followed with some fruit. Yay, fruit. So the fruit in there, the capsules are the same size, these little guys, and you take 2 of them every day. You can take them together, or you can split it throughout the day, say 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening of each. And the fruit, they have 10. So there's apples and cranberries, oranges, citrus fruit, pineapple, mango, peach, dates, and prunes, followed with cherries. And those are all into the capsules again. Those are the veg and the fruit blend. And now we also have the berries, which make up our premium pack. So they are the berries. And there's our little capsules of those. And we have grapes, pomegranate, blueberry, cranberry, blackberry, bilberry. Don't know if anyone's managed to get any fresh bilberries recently. No. Raspberries, elderberry, currant, and a bit of green tea extract. Now, I don't know about you, but as we all know, fruits and vegetables are seasonal. But we always seem to find them in our freezers and fridges in the supermarkets. And I kind of feel all the time, well, I'd rather have them fresh. And, I know that they get picked so many months in advance and then land up on our table, 2 to 3 months later. So with these lovely, shiny capsules, I know that they've been grown to their optimal, which means that they are nice, fresh, juicy fruit and vegetables and berries taken into the warehouse, where they are pulped and juiced and then dried slowly, so all the water and the sugars are taken out, and then they're capsuled, and those capsules are airtight, so there's no oxidation, which means the day that they were picked and dried, means that all the vitamins, micronutrients, and all that is still intact when we put them into our body, which for me was a great selling point. I just thought, that's fantastic. I need to bridge the gap between what I think I'm having enough, but I'm not, because, you know, generally we should be having 5, but now apparently Imperial College London has now said we should be having 10. I'm not sure if any of you are able to get 10 into your system, but I certainly can't. So these really help me to bridge the gap. And what we now also have is the kids. The kids don't get left out. That's what's so amazing. They also get to have fruit and veg with us, but they get the chewies. So they're these gorgeous little chewies. Those are the vegetable ones. And these are the fruit ones. And what's amazing is that Juice Plus has now made it possible that when an adult goes on, you can sponsor a child in the health study, and they'll then get these, which are your fruits and your vegetables. My son's on them and he absolutely loves them. He was always sickly. If there was a cold or a chest infection to be had, he always got it, ear infections. And whenever we did long haul flights, he always came down with something. But since he's been having those for the last 4 or 5 months on the trips that we've been on, he's had absolutely nothing, which is amazing. I'm going to move on now to our omegas. Now these are amazing because they're completely plant-based, which means that no fish was harmed in the making of these little guys. But we're missing the fish and we're going straight for the plant that the fish eats, or the algae that the fish eats, and that's where we do get our omegas here of 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9, which are amazing for the heart and for the eyes. So that's our omega blend. Going on, we've got a complete blend, which is vegetable protein, or proteins, plant-based protein, and they come in these lovely bags. You've got your vanilla and you've got your chocolate. I love these. Now these are amazing if you want to supplement a meal, or you get those for the handbag or the gym bag for after gym. So it's great. Those are amazing. 18.8 grams of protein in that. And that's not any way, no way in that, no way, no way. I hear you say no way, no way. But it's full of protein from soya, rice, and chickpeas. So all from the plants, yay, picking up the plants, good vegetable blend. We also do offer in the complete range these guys, the soups. Now these you can either have with milk. I sometimes blend it in with a homemade soup, which I quite like just to bulk it out a little. But again, a meal supplement if you're looking to lose weight, they're brilliant. On the weight subject, we've got these guys, complete booster. Now this one has got a bit of a tongue tire for me. It's got the glucosamine in it, which makes you feel full. So probably said that wrong, but anyway, we'll move on. That makes you feel full. So have that just before you have a meal. It will fill up your tummy, make you feel full. 25% of fat will be absorbed into that and not into your system. So that's really a good one if you're looking to lose weight as well. Now, this is not all about losing weight. We've also got our JBT program, which is an amazing set of recipes. Now, I love to cook, but I do notice that every week it seems to be the same meal. So I love the fact that I could have the same food, but produce different meals. And then everybody was like, oh my God, yay, dinner. Whoa. So brilliant JBT for meals and recipes. Then we've got exercise programs on there. We've got our 8-week shred, which is just starting now. We've got a 2-week rolling start, so between the 14th and the 28th of October. If you need to lose those extra pounds before Christmas, then definitely get hold of the person who's introduced you to this show tonight, because that is going to be amazing. And there's some money to be won as well. 2,500 Aussie dollars, which will be converted into any foreign currency wherever you come from if you're the winner. So that's a great incentive for Christmas, if nothing else. I think I've just about covered everything in my quick, speedy rendition of these beautiful, healthy, bridge the gap products. Please, if you do want to find out any more information, get hold of the person who has invited you to the event tonight. And that's me, Greta. over back to you.
Thank you, Jacqui. I'm going to pass over to Louise now.
Thank you. Awesome share, Jacqui. Absolutely love your story, and I really, really love Greta's story because so many people suffer from constipation. I can't even say it. Would you even know that I've just had 4 hours sleep after 2 back-to-back night shifts? But my name's Louise, and I live in Northern Ireland, and I'm going to tell you a wee bit about how the products have helped me and my children. So I was first introduced to our magic beans back in 2015. I watched Ciara Westwick, who is the founder of our amazing JBT program. She was on MasterChef Australia in 2014, and I loved her ethos. She was all about clean eating, and we just absolutely loved watching her on the show. So I followed her for quite some time on social media, and I don't follow celebrities, so it was really nice just to watch what she did. And she has her own Facebook page as well, Her Wholesome Kitchen. But Ciara, she reached out to me in November 2015. My youngest daughter, she is 5.5 now. She had been sick for her first 2 years by then, 2 winters. And Ciara had seen this and knew that she had to share with me the amazing benefits of this product and how it could possibly help me and my family. But it wasn't until I went through another winter of Darcy getting sick, and I just thought, I just can't go on like this anymore. She had, by that stage, she had 2 ambulance journeys to hospital. She had been on IV antibiotics a few times, oral antibiotics. She just constantly seemed to be on them. And I have 2 other children, and she had more antibiotics than them ever had put together. So she really was sick, and she was breastfed. So I knew that I was giving her as much nutrients as I possibly could. And she was getting the awesome antibodies, from the breast milk, but she just obviously needed that wee bit extra. So she went onto the chews, and I cannot highly recommend them enough, because she has not even been to the doctors since she's been on the chews. And we would have spent at least once a week or once a fortnight in the doctor's surgery, especially over winter time, because she was so sick. So I just absolutely love them. So if any of your kids are sick, I would highly recommend you get them on these. And like Jacqui had said, you can sponsor 1 child from the age of 4 on them. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to put my youngest daughter on it, but my eldest daughter, she is still getting the products for free. We've been taking them now for 2.5 years. They really are my little lifeline. We went to Australia for 7 weeks on holidays, and none of us, me nor my 3 children, had any jet lag whatsoever, which was quite strange because we've been in Australia 5 times and there's always that jet lag, so we didn't get any jet lag. So I suffered from adult acne. I want to show you a photo if it brings it up. But this was me, if anybody can see it. Yeah, this was me in 2015. The redness in my face, the adult acne. I came across that photograph a few weeks ago, and I was like, gosh, really, I knew I was bad, but sometimes it's just the photographs that have been taken of me, and I just go back to that, and it's like, oh, was I really that bad? Back in February, my granny was ill, and then she passed away, and in around that time, I had forgot to take my magic beans for about a week. So I thought, well, I'll stop them for another couple of weeks and I'll see how it changes in my body. And I started to break out. So I thought, yeah, this is what is helping me and what is helping my skin. And it's great, no more adult acne. I have a breakout today, but it's like, oh my God, it's like, where did that come from? But because before it was just my whole face, and it was horrible. And getting stares in the street, you know, for your adult acne, and nothing that the doctor ever gave me ever worked. And then Kira had shared some testimonials regarding adult acne as well, and I just thought, you know, why not? At the time as well, I work night shift, so I've just done the 2 back-to-back night shift, 4 hours sleep, and I'm here and I'm buzzing because I do get an energy buzz being on them. And whenever I work nights, I tend to keep my magic beans until the evening time because they do give me that bit of a buzz. So they have had a huge effect in that area. I have suffered from anxiety for many years, and but my anxiety levels have greatly reduced. I attended. I'm a scout leader, and I'm just new to the role, and I attended training for that. And definitely without the support of the magic beans and everybody, you know, that I have made friendships with along the way, they have really helped with my anxiety levels, and it's great. Jacqui shared with you the shakes. I love the shakes. I take them every single morning for breakfast. I have them in a smoothie. I have them in your overnight oats. They really add. I did run out of the shakes, and I got my delivery today. So I had 2 days without any, and the taste difference. I did struggle at the start now, you know, with the with the flavor. I didn't necessarily like it, but now it's like, oh, if I forget to put it in, it's like, oh, I have to remake my smoothie because it gives such an awesome flavor, you know, to my smoothie. I was saying I have 3 children, so my 11-year-old, she's on the Children's Health Study, or it's Healthy Starts for Families now. They have rebranded it because it really is all about families. She is a bookworm, and it has given her more energy. 2 months after being on the product, we were away in our caravan and going for a cycle around this beautiful lake, and she actually said, "My legs are not sore, Mummy." So that was a huge thing for me because she always complained about her legs being sore. And my 9-year-old son, he concentrates better now in school, so that's an absolute bonus. He's a bit of a live wire. It takes a lot to, you know, get him back into the room, but with the support of the magic beans, his concentration levels are just absolutely fantastic compared to what they were, you know, 3 years ago. So that's about all. I think I've told you everything. There's probably loads more. It's those ones that you just think, oh, you know, forgot about that one, but that'll be for another night. But thank you for listening. I'm going to pass over to the beautiful Jacqui, and she's going to tell you a little bit about the structure of our business.
Hey everybody, thank you, Louise. Always amazed by you, girl. I remember you last year, and you were so shy, and then suddenly you just come out of your shell, and it's amazing. Your anxiety levels totally reduced. Awesome, girl. Right, I'm Jacqui. I'm just going to tell you very quickly my product story. Basically, I've been on my lovely beans since March last year. And like Louise, often what happens is you don't realize how they're helping. And basically, I was at maximum stress levels. I honestly felt like I was dead on my feet every day. And I'd never felt like that before because I've never needed to, but I entered menopause and I didn't really realize how that would affect me. I just knew that I needed calcium in my body. I had gone to the doctor because I was getting flushes that I just thought was a fever from a cold, and he went, "No, you're in perimenopause and you have to take HRT." And I thought, are you kidding me? Firstly, you're a man, so you don't know what I'm feeling. Thank you very much for that. But actually, I don't have to take anything. So I said to him, I wasn't rude to him. I said to him, explained to me why I have to take it. And he said, well, it's your calcium levels, your biggest risk. I said, what is my biggest risk if I don't take it? And he said to me, your calcium levels because of brittle bones. That is your biggest problem. And my mum has osteoporosis and osteoarthritis. And so that would be a hereditary thing. So all in all, I looked at a whole lot of products. They either made me feel very ill on the stomach. Literally every kind of supplement I took either did not have vitamin D and calcium in it together, which I thought, well, you need one and the other to make it work in your body. And the other thing was that they just made me feel nauseous, whether I took them at night, in the morning, with a meal. I just felt sick on them all the time. And I thought, these synthetic things cannot be good for me if they're making me want to be sick all the time. And like Greta, I knew, you know, things that make you ill, you don't want to eat them. Anyway, I saw my Bela posting and I thought, oh, like Greta, I thought, oh man, she looks fantastic. Want some of that? Want some of that? I was like, yes, please. And it was a no-brainer for me. The minute I looked into the product and I saw fruit, veg, berries, bridging the gap, I thought, it can only help, it can't harm. I know that I eat really well, but I don't get all of those fruits and veggies in my body every day. I don't have the time for it. And I actually started on that first and I loved it. And within a couple of months, I noticed that there were things like my tendinosis in my arm, things that I didn't expect. So I got that energy hit, which was amazing. I felt like myself again. Within 4 months, my brain fog started to go away, which was my hugest thing, really, really big. That was my biggest problem. That was hilarious. That was my biggest problem, was really my energy levels were so low. I felt like I couldn't get from day to day, and I felt really depressed about it because I didn't feel like myself anymore, which is really difficult because I'd always felt really capable of doing my job. I just couldn't manage to read an email without having to reread it 4 times, which made me slow. It made me feel inefficient, and it was really, really daunting for me from that perspective. And I felt quite depressed about it. I felt like I wasn't managing. I couldn't multitask anymore. And then, so once I had got into the beans and everything, it was amazing. My biggest breakthrough was when I went on the omegas. I love the omegas. They're my favorite product in the whole range, along with the shakes, because the shakes help my hot flushes. But my omegas are literally my brain fog eliminators. I love them. It's like lights go on. I went off them for a month or so and I noticed a major difference straight away. So, so without further ado, when Bela said to me, well, you know, you're sharing this with everybody, I went, okay, fine, no problem. You know, yeah, I'll share them for you, Bels. And she went, no. Well, why don't you just get into the business? And I thought to myself, I never wanted to be in any other business before. I just was happy being a business travel consultant. I was happy doing my job. I didn't know anything else. And so if anybody is on this call tonight or watching this back that is thinking to themselves, oh, I'm happy with what I'm doing, I've not thought of it. I didn't think of anything else. I never wanted to be selling other stuff. I never wanted to be that person. I was like, oh, I'm not a salesperson. Oh, I don't want stock. Oh, I don't want any of that. When I came on the call with Bela for her launch, I saw the business model and I thought, that's really interesting, actually. And it made me think twice about what I've done for the last 20 years and where I'm at right now and what could be. And the minute I asked myself, what if, that was when it clicked for me. And I thought, oh, what if there is something better than this? What if I've never explored, you know, a better option, another life, a more time free. I mean, I work very long hours for a set finite wage every day. And that set finite wage is probably not going to go up because I'm sitting at the top of my tree right now of my price, you know, my pay band. And I think I don't score any of the profit. I don't score any of, and I'm so time poor that it made me think to myself, I desperately want to not do my day job anymore. So slowly but surely, I'm making my day job my other job, and I'm making this job my main job, and that's my aim for the future. So I'm just going to show you quickly. I have mentioned the business to a few people in the past, and they've gone, oh, is that one of those pyramid schemes? And I went, no, because pyramid schemes actually went out in the 1970s. They are illegal. So I'm not great at drawing, so you just have to bear with me. So this is what a traditional business actually looks like. So if you're thinking pyramid, this is what a traditional business structure is. So at the top, you have the CEO, right? You have your CEO over here. And he's the dude that gets to manage everybody. It's funny how when the pyramid goes up, I know we think of it, but the less work they do, I know it sounds awful for me to say that, but it seems to me that we do all the work and they gain all the profit as we go up. Just a thought, but anyway. So we all start down here, and I'm going to do my business because that's the business plan I know. So I've been a travel consultant. I started in leisure travel and I absolutely loved my job, but it didn't pay any money. So I went into business travel. And whilst I love my clients, because Bela was one of my clients once, and I loved chatting to her on the phone, she was amazing. That's how we met. I still thought to myself, there are clients I don't like. They do whinge and moan all day. Anyway, so I started at this level and I was happy doing that. And then I moved up the ladder and I'm a lead agent now. Okay, so I have been offered jobs up here. So this is the next one is a supervisor, right? I don't want to be there because I seriously don't want trouble from here and trouble from there. So every time it's been pointed out to me to do it, I'm like, not for me. Thanks very much. I'm just happy doing my job as I am. Now, one of the branches of my job that I desperately wanted to do up until about a year and a half, 2 years ago, is I wanted to be a account manager. You know, so I wanted to skip the step and go to here and deal with clients. But in my business, clients have got way more demanding. They've got way more fickle. And actually, I think to myself, is this really worth the stress that I would have to put up with to get to there? And the stress is phenomenal. I've watched the account managers and they run from pillar to post doing a thankless job every day. And the clients do not appreciate it. I, on the other hand, thought to myself, when I looked at this business, I thought, here we go. So somebody showed me this business model, which is actually more like turning the triangle on its end, right, like that. And actually, it's open-ended because your earning potential is massive. And I don't have to achieve any particular stats for anybody. This is my own business and I work as hard as I want to every day to get to where I get. If I just want to be able to get my product free and that's my aim, I have that opportunity. But all of us start over here, right, at this level. All of us start there. Our illustrious leader started there. Everybody starts here. And we start off as a dealer. Yeah, we're selling you those pills. We're farming them out for everybody's good nature. And then you can go up to the next level, which is a direct distributor. And up and up. Now, some people just want to get to here. And some people want to go up here to a senior direct distributor, which is what I am now. And some people are happy to stay here. Some people are happy. I paid my insurance. By the way, I posted the other day. I paid my car insurance this month. Awesome. That was my little bit of side hustle. I love it. But some people can go all the way up. And at the very top of our tree, we have presidential marketing directors, which I love that name. But the point of this triangle is that it's open-ended. It's like a fountain that just gushes beauty. And every single person can get to this point at any time they want to. It's just the amount of work that they put in when they want to put that work in. I only have 2 hours of my day to give to my side hustle, but I give it and I do whatever I can. And in just over a year and a half of being in the business, so I started in the business in May last year, I'm at senior direct distributor. Some people have a 5-year plan. Some people have made this in 6 months. And it is literally down to them. Nobody's telling them what they have to do. Nobody's pushing you. Nobody's making you have monthly stats. It's just your own sharing and caring and loving on other people. And that's my point. The reason I want to leave the business that I'm in right now is because, as far as I'm concerned, I'm helping people, but I'm not helping people. I'm not getting the reward. I don't feel that reward. And I want to feel the reward of helping people every day, growing their business, growing their health, whichever one they're in, and making sure that I'm loving on the world and contributing back to the world every day. So thank you so much for listening. I'm so sorry I've droned on. I'm going to pass over to that gorgeous Bela, who's going to tell you exactly how I like popcorn.
Hello everybody. Oh, sorry, we're going to have some background noise here. My beautiful assistant Haze, who pops up every now and then. So I'm going to tell you about one of the other things that most people get worried about with, multi-level marketing. So like me, I thought, I don't know anyone, how, would I be successful, etc., etc. So I forgot to tell you how I stumbled across them. Sorry, so rewind. So 2 years ago, almost to the day, because it was the 8th of October, I started taking my magic beans for the first time. So I'd been suffering for several years, going on 3 or 4, where I kept going to my doctors complaining that that I wasn't myself. My symptoms were getting longer and longer and longer. But in 2016, basically the whole year, I spent my time, so like in the middle of winter and you're cold, and every 5 minutes you keep going, oh my God, I'm so cold, oh my God, I'm so cold. That was me, with every time I stood up from my desk complaining about how I was like the stiff man, the tin man that needed oiling, because I was so stiff. I did it again. I wasn't a stiff man. I was like the tin man who needed oiling. Sorry. So my whole body was constantly stiff. I had aches and pains everywhere. I had the brain fog. And every time I went back, they told me it was a vitamin D deficiency. And they put me on these really high dose vitamin D supplements, and my symptoms kept getting worse, and they kept adding. Eventually, they started doing further investigations, and sadly, I was diagnosed as having gone through early menopause. So I had gone in, through, and out the other end, and nobody had realised. My symptoms were so bad, I felt like a 85 decrepit old lady. I couldn't hold a mug of coffee with one hand because my fingers had got so weak and they were in so much pain. I couldn't chop vegetables because I could chop them, but it was really painful. It was getting to the point that wiping my own butt was a chore. And I was starting to worry that in 10 years' time, I was going to have to ask someone to do that for me. So it was getting really bad. The only thing I didn't notice was the hot flushes, because I've always loved being hot. And I didn't actually start getting them, or if I wasn't noticing them until after they suspected that that's what had happened to me. So, I was rocking into work at about 10:30 every day because I actually couldn't get out of bed. I was depressed for no reason. I was bursting into tears at adverts. I'd be talking to people at work about work-related stuff, not even emotional, and I'd suddenly have this overwhelming feeling that I needed to burst into tears, and I'd have to kind of just excuse myself because the tears would just roll down my face and I'd have no control. I'd be sat on my desk reading my emails over and over and over, and I couldn't actually absorb the information. And I learned to read as a child, but I just couldn't make sense of any of my emails. I went on a holiday with my beautiful sister Chrissy to Thailand, and that was where I started getting really worried, because we'd be having conversations, and the next day she'd talk to me about whatever it was she'd said the day before, and I'd have absolutely no recollection whatsoever. And she started to get really upset because she thought that I actually wasn't bothering to listen to her and that I wasn't interested in what she had to say. And I obviously started panicking and freaking out because I was always interested in what she had to say. And then she'd get sort of 3/4 of the way through telling me the story again, and I'd suddenly be like, oh, hang on, that's ringing bells. So yeah, I thought I was losing my marbles. Anyhow, I got diagnosed. I did not want to go on HRT. So I started looking at natural alternatives. And by pure luck, I noticed that one of my beautiful friends who's in Australia too, and that I used to work with in the UK 10 years ago, was posting about her magic beans. So I got in touch, and it was fruit, veg and berries. And I was like, well, if it doesn't do any, if it can't help me, it's not going to hurt me. And I didn't know if it was going to be any good or not. My skin was turning into old lady skin. My eyelashes had balded. I have really long eyelashes, and they were disappearing, and I was devastated that I had no eyelashes because I was a hairy beast my whole damn life. So I started taking them, and I didn't really think they were doing very much for the first few months. I thought I had more energy. I was wide awake by the time I got to the bottom of my stairs, which never happens because I always had to have coffee and a shower. Otherwise, I walked around like that until I did. But by the time I was down my stairs, I was wide awake, no coffee, no shower, which was great. My constipation that I've suffered from since baby, that had got better. And what else? I wasn't forgetting that falling asleep slump in the middle of the afternoon. And that's the only things that I had noticed. But at the 4 months, I was getting ready to go out for a friend's birthday, and I went to put mascara on, and I realised that my eyelashes had grown back, and I literally danced around the house, and I was so excited I couldn't believe it. And that's what made me then kind of take a step back and think, hang on a minute, what else has it done for me? And then I realised that I was no longer stiff. I didn't have any more shoulder pain. I didn't have hip pain. I didn't have knee pain. My fingers were getting better, but they were still in pain, but they were definitely improving. It took about 8 months for my fingers to be pain-free, and they've remained pain-free. All of my symptoms, I can't even remember most of them anymore, have completely gone. My hot flushes, I have managed with the beans, and my real saving one is the complete powders. So I was always a breakfast skipper, and I've been having those for breakfast every single day, and those, my hot flushes are gone. Every time I stop taking them for a week or so, I've done that 3 or 4 times now, they start coming back. So I've tried and I've tested, and yeah, definitely these completely changed my life. They gave me back my health, and they've given me back my youth, because my skin is no longer old lady skin, and the lines are going a little bit like finer. They weren't very deep to start with, but yeah, I don't have that crimply skin that I was getting. So anyhow, that's my story. I kind of went on a bit longer than planned, but I'm going to tell you about what we like to call our popcorn effect. So you really don't need to know many people. You only really need to start with one person. So Adam, who is Kira's amazing partner in Australia, who first got introduced to the business, he introduced his wife Kira, who was a real skeptic, and for 9 months was having not a bar of it. But once he managed to close his 3 gyms, because he was making more money doing this than he was that, she then was like, oh, hang on a minute. And by the way, she's overtaken him, and she smashed it at 300 Club, which I think she was the first in Australia to ever do it. And that was Little Miss Shy, who doesn't like talking to people, had no self-confidence, and is an introvert. That's what she's done. I'm nowhere near that. However, anyway, she then obviously introduced it to a few people. One of them was a lady called Erin. And Erin taught a few other people how to do the business. One of them was Jordana, who then taught a few people. She taught a beautiful woman called Tammy, who then taught a few more. So she taught the beautiful Sasha, who I worked with at Rio Tinto, where I met Jacqui too. And then Jacqui introduced me to the Magic Beans and a few others. I introduced Jacqui, Greta, and the gorgeous Christina, my baby sister, who have then introduced to other people. So as you can see, this is a teaching business as much as it is a personal development business, and a helping each other business. And as you can see here, even when you're not doing very much, if you decide to take some time off for any reasons, blah, 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 it continues, your business continues to grow as other people join and, you know, get introduced. And so even when you're sleeping, it keeps popping off, which is why we call it the popcorn effect. Now, I didn't know anybody apart from Sasha before, but the beauty of our business and the amazing community that we have is even people who have nothing to do with our own business, like many of the people on this call, we're all sidelines. We don't actually impact each other's businesses, a lot of us, but we go out of our way to help and support each other, and we, you know, offer advice, knowledge, experience, because, you know, all of us are at different levels of our journey. We've been in here for longer and shorter. We've all experienced different things, and we all reach out to each other and offer help and assistance, because this community, unlike the horrid corporate world that we are in, instead of stamping on each other in order to try and get the promotion, everybody tries to help each other and lift each other up, because in order for us to do well, we need to help others to do well too. So we can never go and reach the top on our own. So that's why I love this business the most, is because it's completely my DNA to help people. And this is basically what I get to do every day. So when I'm doing well, I'm helping other people do well, and then we all rise together. And the more people you help, the more successful you are. And my whole life, all I've ever done is put other people first, go out of my way to help people, and just that's what makes me happy. So it's selfish, really, but that's what makes me tick. And now I actually get to do it and earn a living, rather than making some fat cat even fatter and richer at the top. So that is my little section, and I'm now going to pass over to the wonderful Mel. Where are you, Mel?
I'm here. Oh, thanks. Your story gets me every time, Bella. It's just insane to think what you've been through, and just think you've come out the other side and look where you are now, and then think about all the people in the world that are suffering, that just, you know, don't know what to do, and are just, you know, in a bad state health-wise. So it's great that, you know, you can help them. We can all help them as well. There's so many people out there that we can help with this amazing product, like skin, like Louise, anxiety, menopause, just, yeah, pooing, absolutely everything you can think of. Well, not everything, but almost. But anyway, apart from that, we get paid 3 ways. So the first way is retail commission, or retail profit. Second is commission, and the third is bonuses. And like Bella said, you know, what we get paid and how successful we are is a reflection of how many people we've helped. So either helping them with their health, like we've all been helped with our health, and also wealth, helping us all be, you know, able to earn what we want to earn, and, you know, be independent and grow ourselves as well. So I'll go with the bonuses. because they're absolutely amazing. Coming from Australia, like the big bonus that you get is absolutely insane. I'll start off with the smaller ones. So, like Jacqui said, you enter as a dealer or a distributor, then you go up to a direct distributor, and then your next level is senior direct distributor, and this is where you're going to get, oh, I hope you can see it. Anyway, I hope it's not going around the wrong way. This is your first bonus, which is £200. Okay, your next one is sales coordinator, which is £400. I think, was it Greta last week saying this is probably a food bill for, you know, probably her family. I'm a family of four, this is close to mine, almost a week. But I love shopping, I love buying good, healthy food for my family, but it's investing in health, isn't it? Senior sales coordinator is your next one, which is 1,800. So you can see we're getting up there, pretty high. The next one is QNMD, which is qualifying national marketing director. Now this is £3,600. Like, that's a good little car. This is even a much nicer car. This is national marketing director, £7,200. And there's a couple more levels, but then the pinnacle position is the presidential marketing director. Now, considering that the average wage in the UK is around £27,000, 27,600, I think, this is what you can get at the pinnacle position, which is £28,800. But on top of it, that month, when you earn this, you're actually going to be earning commission, retail profit as well. So it's amazing that we've got a company that rewards us so much. And as you can see, we're fully global, and we're all really good friends on here. We've all met each other online or through work or through, you know, Instagram. But it's a really amazing company to work for. And the one good thing about, one of the many good things about this company, I was going to say, is that we don't hold any stock. So someone, just say someone's in Australia, they can still order from me, and the head office in Australia will ship it out, which is amazing. There's absolutely no shipping, no money to be exchanged. So it's all very, very professional in that aspect as well. So that's me. I'll pass you on to Natalie, I think, who's going to give us a little business story.
Hi, everybody. So I'm going to, first of all, hi. This is my first time really chatting with all these amazing women, because I'll explain, it'll make sense when I tell you my story. But yeah, I just want to say thank you. I feel really honoured that you've all had me on tonight, and just, you know, getting to know you all and your stories more is, it always puts a lump in my throat. So thank you. I'm going to talk a lot about the business, but obviously I think what happens with most of us that come into this business, we come in largely through the products and the program. I am an Australian, you can tell by my thick accent. And I'm actually currently living in Italy. So I have a bit of an unusual life, but about 12 months ago, I was back in Sydney, and I'd basically had a really rough time. So I'd had a bit of a personal life, traumatic kind of period. I won't go into that, but let's just say it was difficult, and obviously it took its toll mentally and physically. And I was also had become a single mum to a 18-month-old little boy who was having his own health traumas. So it was just one thing after the other, and it kind of got to the point where I think my body just kind of collapsed on me. So I found myself still trying to do 1,000 things and still trying to be that positive person, but my body was sending me other signals. So a friend of a friend of a friend was posting about these products, and And more than that, she was just having this life that just seemed great. She was positive and happy and doing all these amazing things with her kids. And I just thought, you know what, I want a piece of what she's got. So I contacted her. She told me about the program and the products. And again, what Bela said previously, I was skeptical, but I just thought, well, they're fruits and vegetables and berries, and it's some vegan shakes, and you know, it's not going to do me any harm. So I may as well try it, because at that point I was, you know, being thrown every kind of drug from the doctor, but no one was really listening to what was going on. So I was kind of wanting to just try something. And yeah, within weeks, massive difference, like unbelievable difference. About 2 months in, I learned that there was a business opportunity behind it, which, being in the situation I was in as a single stay-at-home mum, I was currently working an online business, so working online for me was not completely alien, but it wasn't paying the bills. And I think the biggest thing that ticked the boxes, apart from obviously the fact that being a mother and a stay-at-home mother, you need something that's flexible. You need something that you can, you know, decide what your hours are going to be. Toddlers do not respect your own schedule. They make the schedule, and you've got to kind of dodge between that. So yeah, it needed to be that for me. But I think I found myself, and I think a lot of stay-at-home mums, or anyone that's gone through kind of massive, I'd actually moved back from Italy at the time, so I was kind of just very alone. I was completely disconnected socially from anybody. And I think that was my biggest sickness that was going on. So the thought of having something that would ultimately encourage me to reconnect with people and to get out of my own head and into my heart, that maybe through helping others to heal physically and obviously emotionally, then I would be able to heal as well. So that was really attractive to me. What I then found, I didn't realize this at the time, but what I found going into the business was like this tonight, these amazing women, but also my team back in Australia. And now I have a team here in Italy as well. Was just, yeah, this huge network of women who all had similar ideas to me, who all came from a heart space, who just, I can't even explain it. I think it needs to be lived to really get it. But yeah, absolutely, like that is what healed me the most. So yes, the products are amazing, and I won't go another day without them. My son, like, I have to literally rip the chews away from him because he will eat a whole packet if I let him. And he's thriving now as well. I don't go a day without my shakes, my capsules every day. But it was the community of the business that I think healed me essentially, because it made me feel like I was a part of something that was great. It encouraged me and lifted me at a time when I really needed it, and it's continued to do that. My growth over the last 12 months with who I am as a mother and who I am as a friend and who I am to myself has been something that I could not have paid for. And in terms of business, I mean, I'm now doing well with my two online businesses. I'm paying my bills. I'm not relying on anybody else. I now travel. I'm between Australia and Italy and the UK. I'm going to the Caribbean in December, back to Australia in February, probably back to Europe in July. And I'm paying for all of this myself. And I get excited. And yeah, it's just this, the biggest thing again, like, yeah, money's great, but money has never been my source of happiness. It's definitely been a source of stress sometimes, but it's never been what's made me happy. What's made me happy has been knowing that I am a good mother, definitely, but knowing that I am helping, that I am having an impact, that I have a purpose, that it's honourable, and that it's ethical, and that it's something that's bigger than myself. And through doing those things, I become my bigger self. So yeah, I just, all my thanks to this community, all my thanks to this business. I would do it even if I didn't make any money. So it's great that I am, and hallelujah. And I have big goals, and like, yes, I want to hit, like, I want to be Kira. I want to hit those levels, and I want to make that money. absolutely, because I know what it can give to my son and what doors it can open, but that's not really my happiness. That's just like my little obsession, my little goal. That's not my happiness. My happiness is these beautiful women and the women I get to work with all over the world, literally, that, yeah, just make me the better me and the happier me. So thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. That was amazing. So good. Nice to have you on our event. And I hope the weather in Italy is much better than what we have here in UK today. It's pretty
That's lovely.
Thank you. As Jacqui mentioned, if anything resonated with you tonight on what we shared, if you're listening back on the recording, or if you're here online with us, do reach out to the person who has invited you. We are always open and welcoming people in terms of answering questions. So we're going to have a little Q&A after this recording, but if you're watching the recording, do get in contact with the person who has sent it to you, because all they're saying is, I care for you and I just want you to get better. But thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for coming online. Until next time, feel like I'm on YouTube.